Yeah, I put my dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more times.
There's 5 blokes outside my front door. Can you come and help
One
me?
hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.
IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted as always to be joined by Mr. Leigh Wood, the WBA Featherweight champion. So first and foremost, mate, Nottingham game on tomorrow night. This was scheduled for tomorrow night, but yeah, you've got Nottingham vest on. How are you feeling?
All good, mate. All good. You know, preparation's going well. It's tough. It's hard. I'm in the thick of it, but it's hard to get that victory over the line. You know, Forest. Underdogs tomorrow night, just as I want to be an underdog on the 24th. Away at Man City tomorrow night. It's an hard game, but you know we've been playing really well. Been playing really well. You know, first season back in the Premiership in a very long time, 20 odd years. So we're holding our own with some big teams. So I'm excited for tomorrow night.
Definitely. But you said there you're the underdog on the 24th. Do you honestly feel like being the champion, that you're the underdog, being at home against somebody like Mauricio Lara?
I don't really read into that the underdog like the terms of the book is because it's just on the general public 9 times out of 10 betting on who they think is going to win, and their insight and their knowledge on boxing isn't very great. So they look at things in hindsight and they go, "Well, he's done this to him, so we think he's going to do this to him, and he got dropped by him in the first round. So what's he going to do to him?" That's probably how they look at it. So they put all the money with the hindsight, and then the book is odd swing, and that's normally how things work. Happened with me in numerous fights, especially the Kanzu fight. You know, if you can cast your mind back, it was like he throws so many punches around and it's going to overwhelm me. And one person said he's going to use my head as a speedball, you know, and it was far from it. And not only did I outbox him and probably outpunched him, I knocked him out as well.
That's the thing. Obviously, coming off the Conlan win back in March, I think a lot of us were, especially us in the media and maybe a lot of fans and even probably yourself and your team, were confident that Leo Santa Cruz fight was going to get made. Were you confident probably tail end of March this year that could have been made? How confident were you?
Possibly, yeah. We got there's a long time we were sitting around waiting and we didn't really know what was going to happen. So we got a few options. The only reason it's not happened is basically because the split they offered us was diabolical. It was terrible. To say that he's not boxed at the weight, I'm probably considered the champion because I've been active and beat some good names. He just sat around really and not really done much. I know he jumped up and boxed Devonta Davis, but it was a long time ago. He's still not defending that belt. So the split they offered me, I thought was unfair. So we've come to an agreement where he's going to unify and I get to fight the winner, whoever that would be out of him and Vargas, and I get a fair split of the purse as well. So it's a no-brainer for me. Fight for 2 belts, 50% split, the purse bid. Most people, most fighters would go, right, let's have an easy knockover job. But, you know, I've not done that. That's not me.
Is this a potential banana skin fight for you then? Obviously, I think us in the UK, we know Lara very well because, like I said, the Josh Warrington win last year, I think it was last year, 2021. I mean, my years are all this nonsense, this pandemic and all that is all over the place. But yeah, we know who Lara is. We know what he brings. He's young. He's a solid fighter. He's a hard man. He's tough as you know. So we know that you can't. A lot of people say that you carry power, but we know that these Mexicans, they take the stereotype that they're tough and they come to fight. So is this a potential banana skin fight for you?
I wouldn't say a banana skin. You know, he is what he is. He's a hard fight. I think for me personally, I prefer knowing, right, I've got a good kid, it's dangerous, it's an hard fight, then I've got a tick over fight, now I'm expected to win, don't know a lot about the kid, or people are going to tune in thinking it's going to be easy. How am I supposed to get up for a kid like that when I've been on the underdog mentality side for my last 2 fights and everyone's wrote me off? You know, it wouldn't be normal for me going into a fight being expected to win and that anymore. I don't need it, but it's nice to have that because I'm used to it. But look, Mauricio Lara is good. He does a lot of things very well, but he's got a lot of flaws. And it's the flaws that I think I can exploit. And you know, Warrington didn't manage to do that. I think he did the wrong thing on the night. Many things wrong on the night. And I don't think it was an activity. I think it was down to the style of the matchup. But I'm confident I can get the win over the line.
You mentioned the style matchup. We all know that styles make fights, and you alluded that at the beginning of the interview there, that styles, people look at this with the bookies and whatnot. So styles do make fights. So is Lara, obviously after the Kanzu and Mick, do you approach Lara differently because of the way he fights in terms of he's going to come forward? We know that you like to throw a lot of punches and maybe go on the front foot a little bit, but I don't think you're going to have to look for Lara. He's going to be in your face for 12 rounds. Are you ready for that?
I'll be ready for that. Prepare every fight individually. That's why I'm having so much success with it, because my team around me, our approach to each fight, every fighter is different. Every approach is different. When you can't win the same, I can't approach this fight how I did the last fight. I can't approach the Kanzu fight how I did the Reese-Mold fight, and vice versa. You have to adapt to win, and that's the most important. And that's my biggest asset at the minute. My team around me and changing my style and my approach and all the little bits and bobs, my drills that I do for them scenarios that will come across on the night. And that is my biggest asset. People say, "Oh, I can punch." Yeah, I can punch. But there's a time and a place. You can't just come out swinging because I will get middle. And the same with this fight. I'm confident with the game plan. I'm confident in executing it and getting it off on the night.
You mentioned Reese-Mold, Kanzu, McCarT, man. You're on a roll of stoppage wins. Can you continue that against somebody like Mauricio Lara?
I think it's more than likely, yeah. Like you said, I ain't going to be looking for him. In fact, obviously, he's coming to me, literally jumping at me. So if you look at the Reese-Mold fight, he was coming to me, didn't have to make the grind up. It ended before the 12th. With someone like Conlan, it's a lot harder to nail someone who's so slippery, skillful. You can say skillful. He's very skillful. Same with Kanzu as well. High guard. He didn't rush in, and when he did rush in, I found nailed him.
How confident are you when you look at obviously the champions in the division right now, and obviously we're into what, September, October, November, December, maybe the beginning of 2023. How confident are you as a fighter, all going well on the 24th, that you can get this unification fight against one of the champions, Ray Vargas, or even Leo Santa Cruz if he gets that unification? So how confident are you that you can become a unified world champion, maybe the beginning of 2023?
I'm extremely confident I can do it. I'm not so confident on the politics side of boxing, but hopefully, confident with this fight, which I plan on doing. And then that fight is there for me, whether we have to take a different route, whether the number fight happens, whether the Warrington fight happens here or there, I don't know. Politics side may let me down, but next year I would definitely be fighting for another belt.
I think again, being that sort of selfish boxing fan, the Warrington fight intrigues a lot of fans here in the UK. Both world champions. You've got that Nottingham fan base. We all know how wild they are. You've got the Leeds fan base. We know how wild they are. I mean, I think when you put all that together, that's a recipe for a barnstormer fight.
A great night, yeah. And while we're on the subject of fan base, I just want to say a massive thank you to all my loyal supporters, the city of Nottingham, and further afield, because I'm not just selling tickets in Nottingham anymore. I'm selling tickets a little further away from home. But the Nottingham lot have really got behind me again. Sold a lot of, I think we've done nearly 3,000 personal at my own hand, well, my auntie's hand even, tickets for this fight. Tickets from the stadium have done really well, for Matchroom have done really well. So yeah, I just want to thank everyone for getting behind me again, for supporting me. And you're always an exciting fight with me. I'm going to be bringing more excitement on 24th.
I do want to touch on it because, again, I'm going to be a selfish boxing fan here. And obviously, going back to March, the McCarT fight, he's been very vocal and wanting the rematch. And for me, even with being in September and that fight being in March, that was the fight of the year for me. I was on the edge of my seat for the whole fight, and selfishly, I would like to see the fight again. Did that cross your mind, that fight? Because I know Mick said that you can make money with him and stuff like that. And again, like I said to you, it's going to be fight of the year, no doubt about it. Would you revisit McCarT?
Yeah, for sure. I think Mick wants it. I think Mick needs it more than I need it. So us having another fight, another exciting fight, a bigger fight, and for the record, getting paid a lot more. He probably needs me more than I need him, but because the demand's so there, I don't let the fans down. And I think that'll happen eventually in a few fights' time. Like I said before, I can do a better job. I couldn't go off to a worse start. So you know, I'm confident I can do a better job, even though I managed to pick myself off the floor and stick to my game plan and get my legs back. I managed to get my game plan off, and I'm 100% confident that I can do that from the get go and do a better job. So yeah, I mean, for the fans, it will be for the fans because I don't need it. I get nothing from it, but I think that will happen again. Yeah.
That's the thing. Obviously, I mentioned all these names. I mentioned Warrington, Leo Santa Cruz. We've talked about Lara. We've talked about Conlan. I mean, I said in an interview, I can't remember who I was talking to. It was an interview this week, and the featherweight division for me is my favourite division. It's like every champion's. Remember that old game in school when you played hot potato and you're just passing the world championship belts everywhere. There's a new champion every week. For me, it's the most exciting division right now, and it's my favourite division looking at it. So, rattling all these names, how excited are you to be in a division like this? I mean, every fight's going to be a big fight for you if you keep winning from here on out.
Like you said, I mean, I think it was a year or two ago, I looked at it and I thought, oh, wow, I missed out on Quigg and Frampton. And I've got Warrington, you know, I've got Navarrete. The WBC has been passed around a few times. That could even get passed around again. So yeah, there's some from Vargas to Santa Cruz. I mean, there's some really big names out there for me. Some really big fights. I'm happy to be a part of it. And more importantly, I want to prove myself amongst all them bunch of names we just mentioned.
Like I said, even IBF, that went from Warrington to Galahad to Martinez and back to Warrington. That you mentioned the WBC, Russell Jr., Mark Magsayo, I think it's now with Ray Vargas as well. So it's Navarrete is there as well. I mean, it's a great.
Warrington's got a hard fight as well coming up.
It certainly has, yeah.
Nothing's a given, you know. That's why I can't take your eye off the ball. I'm in a hard fight. That's what's so exciting. Everyone's in hard fights, and that's why the belts getting passed around. If there wasn't 50-50 fights, they wouldn't be getting passed around. And
that's why it's my favourite division, to be honestly. It's the most exciting division. In my eyes, I think it is, and you can argue with me if you want, and I could probably argue till the cows come home, but that's definitely my favourite division. Yeah, but one final one for me, and before I let you enjoy your Tuesday evening. Maurizio Lara, what can we expect from Leigh Wood come fight night?
You can expect what you always expect from me. Power in both hands. But, you know, like I said, since been down here with Ben Davison and Lee Weil and Barry Smith, my whole boxing outlook has changed. My whole game's changed. The approach is calculated. You know, I'm 100% confident in getting the win of the line against Maurizio Lara. I do think it's going to be a shorter fight. I don't think it's going to be a 12-round job this time, or nearly 12-round job for my last two. No, I honestly don't. I think if everything goes to plan, I think I'm going to sit on something heavy. But, you know, Maurizio Lara is not one of them kids that are going to curl over. He's going to come, he's going to give everything. There may be times in the fight when I have to bite down, like my last fight. I'm prepared to do that. I'm prepared to do whatever it takes. And like I said, I'm 100% confident getting the win.
Listen, like I said to you, Leigh, man, from here on out, there's nothing going to be. It's going to be big fights for you if you keep winning. Even if you probably, I'm not wishing it upon you, but I mean, even win, lose, or draw, it's going to be a tough fight. Every fight's a tough fight in this division. Like I said to you, it's exciting times for you and everybody else. But listen,
if there wasn't that uncertainty in the fight, then it's not a hard enough fight, and I wouldn't want to be involved.
There you go. See, that's the fight. That just shows your mental toughness and the fighter that you are, obviously. And people that followed your career, obviously, at small hall shows leading up. Now you're selling out arenas in Nottingham. So fair play to you, mate. 24th, I will either be there or I'll be watching. I don't know yet, so fingers crossed I'll be there. And if I'm not, I'll be watching. You know I will. And good luck, and I'll speak to you soon, brother.
Mate, appreciate that. I'll see you soon. Hopefully I'll see you there.
Definitely. Thank you, mate. See you soon.
Right, see you in a bit.
Bye, mate.
Yeah, I put my dad in the street against a heavyweight.
I've gone back to the dad. I've punched him a few more times.
There's 5 blokes outside my front door. You coming in?
One hell of a fucking story, so stay tuned.